Ramek, Total Machine Death.
Hello, this is Neocrius, and today I'd like to show you a game I've been working on for a while now with my friend Brendan from Aureus Press. It's based on his character Ramek, who appears in the Aegeon series of books, both in the stories but also as a sort of mascot of the entire publication. In one of the stories, Ramek is flying on a giant genetically engineered budgie, and he's fighting machines that have enslaved humanity. I'm playing the demo here, which is available on Steam and has one playable level, the Dead Zone. The final game will have 5 levels, as you see here. So this is Ramek, flying on a budgie. But it didn't start like that originally. I was already working on a shmup before, but it was just a generic game without any specific theme. I had some enemies designed and I was researching game engines, but it was just something I would work on in my spare time on and off. So when I read the Ramek story I was like, this is perfect, I have to use this. And in the story Ramek is only using javelins as a weapon, I believe. But I've used a bit of artistic license to give him a bunch of other weapons as well, to make the game more fun. As you can see, it's a horizontal scrolling shooter, not really a proper bullet hell I would say. Nowhere near the level of the cave classics like Dodonpachi or Mushihime-sama, but definitely adopting some of the tropes. There's stuff like fancy enemy bullet patterns, time slowing down when there are many bullets on screen, a bullet grazing mechanic, kill chain combos, a bullet cancelling EMP blast and so on. Okay, now we see the Tesla Death Ray, which is a very powerful weapon, especially at max power, because with each power level the electric arc jumps to an additional enemy. It's self-guiding as long as the enemy is in front of you, but has a fairly limited range. I also tried to consciously avoid some of the worst Euro shmup pitfalls, like having a useless pea shooter of a gun to start with or bullet sponge enemies. Instead, there's plenty of what shmup players call popcorn, which are swarms of relatively weak enemies that are satisfying to mow down. We have the first boss here, and this is one of the original drawings I did with a fountain pen. Before this was a Ramek game. I was probably thinking of the movie Tremors while drawing him. The music you can hear while I'm not talking was made by Brendan, while I did the graphics, sounds and scripting. I didn't have to do any substantial coding for the game, as the Godot engine has all the features we need already integrated. Many of the enemies were actually made up by my 8-year-old daughter, and then redrawn by me to keep a uniform style. She really enjoys helping her daddy make a real video game. The boss doesn't look like a machine, at least initially. But then once you destroy the mouth guns and its auto-organic body, it reveals its mechanical internal structure. I'm struggling here a little bit because of the flamethrower, which has a great spread but becomes weaker with distance. It's not my favorite boss killing gun because of it. There are 5 main guns in the game: machine gun, shotgun, rocket launcher, which you see here, shooting guided rockets, and then a flamethrower and a Tesla Death Ray. The pickups are random, but in a deterministic kind of way, based on Ramek's general location on the screen. So if you find, for example, an enemy that drops your preferred gun, as long as you're in roughly the same spot each time you kill them, you'll get it. I tried to design the guns in such a way that each one has its advantages and disadvantages, and encourages a slightly different playstyle. The machine gun concentrates its firepower to one point directly in front of you. Then there's the shotgun, which has a lower cyclic rate, but fires a bunch of pellets that are very powerful, and it can take all of the smaller enemies out in one hit. It also has a little bit of a spread to it, but not much. It's a total boss destroyer though. The flamethrower has much more of a spread, so it's like a flame sprayer really, but the damage it deals diminishes with distance. The main weapon also has 4 levels of power, which you increase by gathering the triangular XP pickups. But it's something that happens fairly quickly, and the power level rises for all guns simultaneously. It's not like some Euro shmups where you start with a useless pea shooter and have to grind for hours to level it up to any kind of a reasonable power. The power goes down slowly on its own if you don't collect any XP, but this is just to further motivate you to collect them, since they also increase your score and give 1-ups. The secondary weapons are explosive javelins, which you need to collect from defeated enemies before you can use them. The inspiration for the javelins was the story itself, of course, but also the game Gemini Wing, which is an old vertical shmup, maybe the first one I ever played in an arcade, where the player collects different special attacks and drags them behind him like a chain. Here the javelins are shown in the lower left corner instead, and you can have up to 9 there. And there's 6 different types of them. One just makes a big explosion, then there's a flame that shoots forward, and one with a large spread like the flame sprayer but more powerful. The fourth one splits into 3 heat-seeking rockets, the fifth one creates a daisy chain of 5 explosions, and the last one is a Tesla device that hits almost everything on the screen with the death ray. You have to really learn when to use the javelins if you want to have a 100% enemy kill rate and maximum score multiplier. When you throw a javelin, you can give it momentum by flying left or right. So if you fly left, you won't throw it as far, and when you fly right, the javelin will gain that speed and fly much farther. In this way you can learn to place them precisely to maximize their impact, which I'm not necessarily very good at. Damn, that spider got me. They are nasty buggers. If you see a spider, just hit it with anything you've got. Maybe I'll have to nerf them a bit, because they always get me even though I know where they are and I know their laser patterns. The last weapon you need to master is the EMP blast, which charges when you hold down the primary fire button. Once charged, it starts blinking up there in the status bar, but also emits a slight hum. I received some feedback that the hum is not enough and that I should add some sort of an EMP is ready sound, which I'll absolutely do. When you release the fire button with a fully charged EMP, it lets out a circular blast expanding out from Ramek, which not only damages enemies but also converts their energy bullets into XP pickups. So you can maximize your score if you wait until the screen is full of bullets, then convert them using the EMP. In some cases, like with the worm boss, there's just so many bullets that you can't dodge them and the EMP is your only option. Speaking of enemy bullets, there's two kinds, energy and physical. The energy ones are the blue glowing ones, and those can only be destroyed or rather converted into XP using the EMP, while the darker physical ones can be destroyed using any of your weapons. And now we're at the final boss, and I've got the shotgun, which in its current tuning is absolutely deadly to bosses, so I'll make quick work of this guy. I only need to avoid his laser, which is very quick, and the only safe spots are the very top and bottom. I don't know yet whether I'll keep this boss in this level. He doesn't strike me like a very deserty kind of creature really, but we'll see.
Belongs to man.
So that's it, the boss is dead and that's the end of the demo. If you're interested, which you probably are since you watched this long, give it a try, it's up on Steam. For both PC and Steam Deck, by the way. And I would appreciate if you wishlisted the game, as that increases the chances that Steam will show it to other people. Anyway, I'm rambled enough, so thanks for watching and see you in my next video, which will most likely be more art related again. Cheers!